Hello and welcome to DarkMouse's Daily Scroll with me, DarkMouse.
Me, Cassius.
Me, Thef.
And me, Hanaconda. Because there
Cool.
was no and.
Fair enough. And we are here for another lovely game of Scrolls. Because, we just can't get enough of that game, apparently.
Cocktails in hand, of course, because we are manly men doing manly things.
Yeah, so we sit there holding our cocktails.
I have a beer. I'm actually the odd one out in this crowd.
Wow. So, you're straight into a rank match today.
Indeed, one of the only ones I've had for the past couple of weeks. They've kind of been thin on the ground. And those that I have played have been demolished horribly in. But this is using the Automate the Titans, because now Decay week is over, so I can use the Automate the Titans again. Yes, folks, if you wanted your free Decay deck, too fucking bad.
Sucks to be you, nibbies.
Kinda, yeah. But no, last week was a lot of fun getting to know the Decay cards and seeing quite a lot of people play with the new Decay resource.
Also fun because all of us got scrolls that didn't have it already.
More people have been invited to the fold.
Yay. So, you're playing a growth player by the looks of it.
Yes, now with the Virtue of the Wild on the first turn, that's pretty good actually. It just took them a little while to turn the turn over, which is fine. Every now and then you do forget or you're distracted by something. At which point, turning the turnover isn't your priority.
Not your top thing on your mind. A small fire may have distracted you.
There's lots of reasons. You might be explaining the game to a friend.
Like possible.
Fire!
As happens to us fairly regularly.
Fire! Fire!
Oh dear. Cassius, we all know that if there was a fire, you'll be up and out of the seat.
If there was a fire, I'd probably started it.
That's true as
He
well.
makes a valid point.
Oh dear.
He is the Twisted Firestarter.
Speaking of, don't turn around.
Fuck!
Oh shit, the kitchen. The kitchen!
So I haven't got a bad hand here. I've actually got a Copper Automaton and a Useless Contraption in the same hand. So Bombard is going, that's not any use to me. So I'll start with the Useless Contraption, because having the ability to protect my stuff is better than the ability to destroy my opponents.
Most of the time.
Quite obviously.
Yeah. So you've got Useless Contraption down. It's sat there pumping away quite happily.
Yep, doesn't do anything, it just pumps.
Yep.
And that Virtue of the Wild will hopefully be dead soon, because the ability... The Virtue of the Wild basically means that your opponent can sit there going, I can increase my growth resource with creatures and not have to worry too much about anything else. So they can sack for more cards if they want, or play stuff straight from the hand without having to sack for anything.
You know, it's a terrible thing, but every time you burn something, I just have the Wilhelm scream in my head now. I think
No, that's fine.
I might have to splice that in on occasion.
Oh jeez. That's enough. That's probably what they do. I mean,
Yeah.
If you leave stuff like that alone in growth, you can really end up screwed over. I mean, energy is really slow starting. Growth, you can tell, is not.
Yeah.
That's first damage.
Well, actually, the wolf and the Vagrant
Oh, no, yeah, the
Wild's
Vagrant
got
got first
some
damage.
hits on your thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But, you know, such is life. First damage from you this game.
First death.
Yeah.
I killed the first creature. Just because it was mine doesn't mean I didn't kill it.
Poor little bastard ran in screaming your name, dreaming of paradise.
Yep, and I give it no paradise because...
It blew
I'm-
up.
It's
Did
now
you tell
everywhere.
it was going to blow up?
For a
No.
start, you're not actually a god.
Of course you didn't.
Shh, don't tell me that.
You will ruin his dream.
Indeed.
Or leave him in his own world.
I haven't got the most brilliant start here because none of my, 2 resource gun automatons came into my hand early on. And so far, there's a copper automaton. So all is good. I can spend 1 resource on 1 creature.
And blow it up again.
Yeah. So we'll get the ether pump and the copper automaton because why the hell
Fuck
not?
not, you know?
What is it with this deck and things pumping?
Well, the ether pump, every time it hits a particular rhythm, it'll just do bang, do 1 damage to everything. It's useful.
It discharges, one might say.
Yes, indeed.
The catapult of goo is the worst one, though.
So it's an efficient pumper.
Yes.
It's like this.
I see.
Catapult of goo looks like it's humping something behind it or in front of it, and then spits goo.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, dear listeners at home.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
True.
Oh dear. Now that junkyard is dead because the idea of them having a rat, a mangy rat, no doubt, that's Decay already in there as well. The idea of them having the ability to increase the health of their rats is kind of disturbing.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, kind of. Just really fuck it hard. Ow, champion ring.
I have a beast rat now.
Cool.
I'm happy.
So do I, actually. Anyone here collecting rats?
Yes.
Would you like it?
Yes,
Oh.
please.
Okay, cool.
There we are, into game trading already.
Yay.
So yeah, this is a good example of why energy isn't very good at the early game damage. The fact I got those copper automatons was quite remarkable. Late game, they're brilliant. 2 countdown, and if you get enough structures and a metal heart, they can do a ton of damage. You can't make them relentless considering they die when they explode, but you can use them to total idols.
Got this horrible image of it just blowing off limbs as it runs past creatures, then detonating its final form next to an idol.
That'd be brilliant.
That'd be horrible.
That'd be amazing.
So
Bits of
apparently,
copper automaton
so
everywhere.
then blowing up isn't quite enough for you. They have to be decapitated along the way as well.
Yeah.
Properly dismembered in all respects.
Yeah.
Then they stop scuttling after their final leg blows off and they just roll the final meter to the idol and explode.
Yeah. Sweet. I now have a metal wonder.
Yay.
Carnage ensue.
Which for round 7?
Round 7-ish, yeah.
Round 7, that's pretty fucking decent.
Because 3 energy resources?
It costs me 4 energy resources.
4.
And for every spell or enchantment my opponent casts, it will deal 2 damage to a random idol. Which late game can really hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also means that for now, I don't need creatures per se. So let's get rid of Thunder Surge, because that's not needed. And let's spark off the Ancestral Totem, because I don't like it.
Yay. And now it is dead.
Yep.
And now it is everywhere.
So Growth and Decay is a combination that I've been seeing a lot of. So why don't you go around the room and just see what people think of the combination of Growth and Decay, and what other combinations people think that probably would work just as well as, if not better.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm playing Growth and Decay and it seems to work pretty well. I'm not really sure how it would work with other things. Actually, I had an idea the other day about how it would work with Order, but I can't remember what that was now.
Fair enough. So what's your take on Growth and Decay? Is it what do you usually use from the scrolls from it?
Well, I use ratty things like what are they called? The shackles.
Oh, Searing Shackles.
Searing
yeah.
shackles to damage idols and things like that. Stuff that you wouldn't necessarily think to use on your opponent's stuff to damage their idols, rather than if you know you're not going to get to an idol.
Yeah.
Then increase the defense of one of the things to get to damage it.
You're specialising in kind of idol damage directly through spells.
And poison.
And poison. Well, every Decay player does some poison stuff.
Yeah, because poison's fun.
Not curse though.
Yeah. I've realised that I just horribly suck at scrolls. Like, properly suck badly. I play mostly Order with some energy thrown in. I'm just not very good at it. Growth Decay seems like one hell of a good combination. Mostly because they're both very quick starting, but both of them have very unique abilities that complement each other very well. Growth's quick starting ability is insanely useful while you build up your Decay stuff to bring out some very heavy hitting, nasty monsters from the Decay deck later on. Very good at bolstering each other, and because they both can do poison quite well, they boost each other very well in that regard.
Cool.
oh well, yes, I agree. They are very fast starting, the pair of them, and I think if that's your playstyle, then they're a good combination deck to go for. Personally, I'm playing Growth and Order at the moment, and the reason for that is I like the idea of Growth being quite fast starting, then backed up by energy later on in the game. I think that Growth...
Playing energy or Order?
Energy.
You said Order.
I'm still new to this. Yes, energy, not Order. I think that Growth and Decay players might find that they don't have the same kind of heavy hitters unless they upgrade them later on in game that the Order and Energy have available in quite the same way, in quite the same quantity. But I think it all depends on your playstyle. I think for a quick playstyle person, that is a brilliant combination.
Cool. Sweet. So there we have it. 3 more people's thoughts on Growth and Decay. Not bad thoughts. A mixed bag. Some people preferring the direct damage to idols and the poison. and a take on it with just the way it quick starts. It's quite cool.
That's it. I've been impressed at how well they've integrated Decay into the game so far. Because sometimes with a new race or a new faction or something coming in, I look at fucking WoW, of all things, World of Warcraft. Every time you get a new faction or a new update to the game, something new in it, it unbalances the whole thing massively, and they have to reset the stats on everything to balance it out again.
Oh yeah. So,
Decay, they've built in just fantastically well.
yes, they have done that, because I was expecting that as soon as people started mixing Decay in with their decks, for me to just sit there with my pure energy deck and to just be like, oh, well, I'm dead for like the 50th time. With Decay and Growth, or Decay and Energy, or Decay and Order. Doesn't matter what combination it would be, you're dead regardless. It's nice to see that hasn't happened. The Decay is only as powerful as the player that plays it.
Yeah.
And the same as the other factions, which is quite nice.
This does go back to Scrolls being one hell of a well-balanced game, relatively speaking.
Oh yeah, you can tell Morgan put what must have been weeks worth of work into Decay.
Yeah.
And we're sat here reducing it into constituent parts in minutes, but
Given the way that it's entered quite flawlessly, along with the other energy types, I'm wondering if it was pre-planned. I think they would have struggled quite a bit if it wasn't. I'm just drawing the parallel personally of if they tried to incorporate another mana type in Magic at the moment, and the difficulties they would have in doing that. I don't think it would be possible at this stage of the game, how old it is, how well established it is. Obviously, this is still in beta, so
I don't know. I think it wouldn't be easy, but it would be, as long as they balanced it correctly against what they had already in the current edition, at the very least.
possible but difficult. Because what I mean is, in the case of Scrolls, Decay's come into it almost completely flawlessly. It must have been pre-planned to some extent. With Magic, I think they'll find it very, not impossible, but very difficult at this stage, given how balanced the 5 mana types already are. Incorporating another one could make it overly complex at this stage. I don't know. That's me
I
personally.
imagine that they knew that they were going to add it from the very beginning. They just hadn't got down to the
Potentially.
like,
The gritty
details.
parts of it.
With Mojang, we've seen this with Minecraft again. They seem to have a roadmap for what's being added into the game at a time, and they're very good at going, right, this is coming in this release, this is what we want to see with this one, let's integrate it so it works. I reckon that they've got an entire series of releases lined up for Scrolls, backlogged, that they're just working on, because these guys do very well at releasing a game in a very workable and very fun and usable format.
Indeed.
In alpha even, I mean, Minecraft in alpha was just as usable as it is now.
Oh hell yeah.
Still as much fun. You could do less with it, but the modders picked up on that very quickly and built their own mods very quickly that have then been subsumed later.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
And I think with Scrolls, we're seeing that attitude very effectively applied to the game.
Oh yes. And we're here seeing me turtle up and Juggernaut.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about energy, is once energy turtles up, so not a lot of other things can do it, because energy is one of those that has the most number of structures that you can put down. Because prox mines get you 2 for the cost of your 4 resources.
I was going to say, you got that top line very well mined there.
Yeah, it's very locked down now.
Yeah.
And you
Brilliant
can
defense.
further lock that down by rigging them,
Yes.
using the card rigged, because normally they just do 4 damage or explosion. Rigged adds an extra 4,
Yeah.
as long as they were taken out by melee, which means that those things can then take out Iron Ogres.
Pretty much everything, unless it's
Yep.
uber powerful.
Oh yes, unless it has plating, in which case your 8 damage matters not one bit.
True.
But that's the thing that energy does, is if it can survive until that particular point, you can lock down 3 rows, and as long as you haven't lost an idol in the middle,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
It's then when your opponent has to pull out big removal spells like Quake, or Maya Curse coupled with a few infected blights and a few miasma oils,
Yeah.
because then they can start tearing through your stuff, but only through your creatures.
Yes.
The
But
structures don't get poisoned.
exactly, it then makes it very difficult to shift an energy player unless you have got one hell of a mixture. I mean, hell, if you're old, you can push stuff back, or you can just shift it from one square to another as you please. But once I'm ensconced in the Metal Wonder, I'm difficult to take out. well, here you can see they've got that fatigue structure thing. I don't know what it's called. It's
Totem of fatigue.
That sounds familiar, so I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
And every time a creature moves, its countdown gets increased by 1.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying when you have to move a creature to get any damage output from it, to maximise it completely. Then it goes from countdown 0 to 1. Now that's not a particular problem for some energy players, and I kind of lucked out with this because I put some bombards back into my deck after a while when I'd take them out for reasons unbeknownst to me. Because bombard lets you reduce the countdown of all ranged and lobber types to 0. Now, if your opponent doesn't have any ranged or lobber types, you're sorted. You just move your creatures as you wish, play a bombard.
And then concentrated fire with it.
Yeah, and then concentrate fire with it if you can manage it.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, that totem of fatigue, for that turn at least, matters not one bit.
So that's the question though. Would the Maya Shambler be affected by the Totem of Fatigue? Because that moves before it attacks.
So I'm not entirely sure about that one because you're right, it does move before it attacks, and one of the conditions of the Totem of Fatigue, every time a creature is moved. I don't know if it's every time a creature is moved or every time you move a creature. It depends on the wording and the coding in this. It's not just a wording thing, it's a coding thing.
Guys, if you know, tell us in the comments below.
Or give us your opinion.
Well, the thing I solved earlier on, Searing Shackles, if you put hex marks on the thing that has Searing Shackles on it, it doesn't increase the damage it does to its own idols.
No, that wouldn't, because it has
The way
to
it's
do melee
worded, it
damage.
should do. It says if it does damage to idols.
Yeah,
it
but I
does
think
3
that's probably
times.
unenchanted damage.
Yeah.
So that would work. I think it's... Yeah, that'll be unenchanted damage. So I don't think that
But
would...
it didn't say
encompass Searing
that,
Shackles.
so I tried it to see what
That's
would
fair
happen.
enough. No, that's all about the game. You try it to see what happens.
Yeah.
Now, here's the point where I have a lot of creatures, all on countdown 0, and I can't move many of them.
Yeah.
So instead, I'm making creatures that are no longer on countdown 0. Now, at this point, I'm preparing... Look what's in my hand. I have a Thunder Surge in there. I should now, in my next turn, be able to just go, look, Thunder Surge, and kill off that Ilmaya bloody Rot Eater.
Boom. That thing's really fucking annoying.
It really is. You have to handle it with a great deal of care.
Yes.
You can't just remove creatures from around it with an
Otherwise, it powers it up.
Yeah.
It's got,
I learned that the hard way. Yeah.
It's got a 1 in 2 chance now of anything that he casts destroying one of his own totems.
Yeah. Which is a nice feeling, really. And at this point, I'm actually probably I'm getting rid of a creature there, but that's fine because I've got lots I can play. Thunder Surge!
When in doubt.
Cheers.
Oh look,
Nice.
you have less stuff now. I'm probably going to end up putting the Metal Heart on... I would put it on the Gun Automaton to get rid of that Pillar of Disease, but with the number of structures I have out, it's kind of a waste. Just for one structure, really. It's not brilliant. But the Thunder Surge is brilliant when you can wait for your opponent to just get critical mass of creatures that are only 2 health or less.
Just like that.
Because it's just the imagining their face as you go boom and you're 5 creatures less on the board now.
Yeah.
Now at this point in the game, I've had this happen to me whereby my opponent's turtled up, or they've critical massed up. They've got a critical mass of all their creatures, or of all their stuff and structures, and there's nothing I can do about it because they've got a stack of cards in their hand. I go, I play this. They go, oh look, it's about to come off countdown. I play pushback. Oh fuck. It's that case of, right, I can spark and burn stuff as much as I like, but they're cycling their deck through quick enough because they have less cards in their library now, because they're all on the field, that it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, here, cards will... I think, actually, I don't know about that, because most of those cards are token Gun Automatons from the Forges. So I probably still have quite a few cards in my deck to cycle through, regardless of the clock libraries.
So that automated forge could have made another one, couldn't it?
No, I didn't have the energy for it.
Oh, it costs energy.
Yeah, it costs well, it counts down as normal, and then it costs 3 energy if you want to count it down more.
So
No,
you
the
can
one
create.
that was on 0.
Oh yeah, it did make one at the end.
It did. Yeah. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
They're doing their turn pretty quickly.
Is it good?
They've pretty much accepted they're dead now.
Yeah, kind of. Which is unfortunate for them.
I
but
don't think there's much that a growth decay deck at this juncture can really do. Not quickly, at any rate.
No, not considering the magic.
Not when you're
heart.
doing that, no.
Battle
There are
Hearts.
Oh,
Useful.
there you go.
And boom.
Yeah.
Yep,
And into the store.
indeed. That was a good game. And
There's a little man
very well
with
played.
glasses.
So here I went to go for Order and Growth. This is not quite going with the format. I'll introduce the format in the next game, because I'm afraid that this, guys, is probably all we have time for. So, like, favourite and subscribe to support the series, and I'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.